So I'm sure you guys have seen this game already. It's a new game that's being worked on right now and coming out soon. This game obviously has probably some of the most realistic graphics I have ever truly seen. It's called, I think, Unrecorded, and it's like a body cam video game style FPS shooter where I think you're like a police officer or something like that, and you're basically taking down like drug dealers and things like that. But let's get into the footage because it's insane. So yeah, it says this new game has real life graphics. That's the title of this video.
It's hard to believe, but what you're seeing right now is not real life footage from a camera. It's actually gameplay from an Unreal Engine 5 video game called Unrecord.
Yeah, see, this looks insane.
In development from a new independent studio. This video has taken the gaming internet by storm in the last few days. Many people blown away by the visual fidelity.
It's just crazy.
And others claiming that it's all fake or pre-rendered. So today, I'm going to dive in and take a look at this, tell you a bit about the game, and get to the bottom of it all. So the buzz for this...
Like, first of all, how the fuck did they get this to look so realistic is my question. It's just crazy, man. I can't believe it.
They started back in October.
These are the type of games that we want. In most cases, obviously, you know, stylized games and things like that are cool too. But this is something I've been waiting to see like this since I was probably like 14.
For 2022, Alexandre Spidler, who is creative director and lead programmer on this new project, released a video on Twitter saying simply, "I'm working on a body cam style game," with a few hashtags thrown in for good measure. And in that 45-second video, we see what looks like body cam footage of a person holding a gun, moving through a dilapidated environment and taking down a few baddies along the way. The quality of the clip is awful as it's on Twitter and only in 720p resolution.
That makes sense.
But I think that actually helps it in a way, and it would be easy at a glance to mistake this for real life footage. The environment was a shared Unreal Engine asset, but the camera style mixed with the animations made this look incredibly believable. So it sparked up some discussion,
100%.
and then there was radio silence for months until we skipped to April 19th, 2023, a couple days ago. And Alexandre released a new video.
Insane.
This time it was on YouTube in 1440p 60 FPS quality, alongside a press release packed full of information and announcing the name of the game.
We are gonna 100%, 110% be playing this game when it comes out. I just want you guys to know that.
As Unrecord. And as you can see, this has to be one of the most realistic looking games ever. There's no doubt about it for me. And I think there's a few reasons for that. The main reason is that this isn't simulating what seeing through humans' eyes would look like. In fact, it's simulating what body camera footage looks like. The barrel distortion in the corners as if it were a lens, the wide field of view, the chromatic aberration, the shakiness, even the position of the gun and the hands. It's very unconventional for a first-person shooter, of course, but you pair that up with the excellent animation of the hands and the pistol, and you end up with something very convincing. Unreal Engine 5 is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here as well, adding in accurate lighting, textures, and what appears to be ray tracing on the puddles and shiny surfaces. You may have noticed too that the faces of the combatants are pixelated and blurred. This is obviously a choice that...
And that'll help a lot too, because a lot of times with character models, you can kind of tell with their face like that it's fake, right? That's not real. But with them using this technique in their game where they're blurring it out, makes it all that much more realistic because you don't have to focus on the face, but everything else looks super realistic.
The developers have made, and it leans into the body cam narrative, but more importantly, it solves a big problem that might make the game look less realistic, because as human beings, we're all very good at noticing when a face looks weird or fake, and video game faces, as much as they have improved, are still not photorealistic, especially when animated. But in this case, that is irrelevant because you can't see the faces, and that helps sell the overall image. Still, many people online were skeptical about this game and didn't believe that the video was real, rather a pre-rendered sequence,
this is crazy.
That's been filtered or doctored in some way.
I can't believe how realistic it looks.
The lead developer posted a new video showing the game running in the Unreal Engine editor. He flies a free camera around the environment to begin, and then he hits play and drops into the game, controlling the character, checking the pistol with the same animations, looking around and firing it off in different directions. He then flies to another area from the latest video and does the same thing, again in a different fashion, checks his ammo and goes into free cam again. So it does appear that this is in fact real, and this new video put many doubts to bed, but still a lot of questions remained. So what is Unrecord then? What is this game? Well, as I mentioned, there was a press package that went out, and I'll take you through the key details now. At the moment, you can only wishlist the game on Steam with an unannounced release date, but it is not expected to be released this year. In fact, the developers are still seeking publishers and investors to support the studio.
They're not going to have any problem, especially with the hype built around this last video drop that they did. They're not going to have any problem getting investors' money on this game. I can guarantee you that, because this is the most realistic looking game I have ever seen. With the techniques that they're using, with the body cam footage and the blurred faces, 110% the most realistic, and especially with the hand movement animations. I mean, come on. I thought this was real life. I thought this was like somebody filmed like a movie style game, and you just have to answer questions and choose like a path to go down. I thought this was going to be with those type of games, one of those type of games. That's how realistic it looked to me.
I'm sure that they'll have a lot more interest now. The game is pitched as a tactical first-person shooter where players can expect an immersive and narrative experience featuring complex dialogues, innovative gameplay mechanics, tough moral dilemmas, and a unique shooting system.
And imagine like this style of gaming where we're getting realistic graphics like this being implemented into games that we love, like BRs or extraction looter shooters like Tarkov. Imagine playing a Tarkov game with this type of graphics and like stylization. That would be absolutely insane.
System. The storyline can be compared to a detective novel or a thriller where the player will have to investigate several criminal cases and confront a diverse cast of characters. The game's plot and presentation will be central to the gameplay experience, and players can anticipate a range of gameplay sequences as well as numerous plot twists. In terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay, Unrecord features an original aiming system, and they claim this as a free aiming system with authentic aim down sight and unrestricted hand movements. And having watched the footage several times, this is the biggest question mark for me, because usually in a first-person shooter game, the weapon and hands are in the bottom right, and when you press a button to aim, everything moves to the center of the screen nice and steady, so you can use the sight of the weapon to effectively aim at what's in the middle of your screen. But Unrecord is doing things a bit differently with the shaky movement and animation, so it seems it would be quite difficult to aim precisely at something. However, I am super interested to get hands-on with this and get a feel for exactly how it works, because this is at least something different that we haven't really...
Yeah, like I said, like with this type of aiming system mixed with like the Escape from Tarkov genre, it's gonna be like a super realistic, hardcore fight for your life extraction looter shooter game. I would love to see that.
Really seen before, or I haven't anyway, but perhaps there will be an element of aim assist or a generous...
It just adds that level of difficulty to it, you know what I mean, with the aiming mechanic. And on top of already just trying to survive and loot.
Hit zone if you're roughly in the correct position with your gun when aiming at a target. So I would love to hear more about how that's going to function. Moving on, the game features die and retry combat with a technical and minimalist approach. No room for errors. It's up to you to develop your own tactics. I assume there's going to be gear that you can use too, like flashbangs and grenades. You'll also be making dialogue choices that impact your experience even during combat. We see this a couple times in the video, multiple choices at one point, so perhaps what you choose there can potentially de-escalate or aggravate a situation, even offer multiple choices and potentially side objectives or ways to complete a mission. The devs have responded to a few interesting frequently asked questions too, one of them related to motion sickness for people who are prone to that but might want to play this game. They said that they're working on implementing options and settings to adjust camera movement, effects, and accessibility options to make the game more comfortable to play for all. Naturally, console gamers have been keen to know if this game will be released on Xbox or PlayStation. Their reply was that currently the game runs smoothly with both keyboard and controller. We don't see any issues porting to consoles. However, we haven't yet decided on the specific platforms and consoles for release, but we will keep you updated during development. Unfortunately, it is not a VR game.
See, that's another thing too. If they port this to VR, oh my god. This would probably be one of the, I guarantee this would be the top VR game sold on Steam. And console games, I'm sure they can port it just fine. However, I question the integrity of the graphics, how well those are going to hold up with the frames on consoles.
So I guess that there were a lot of people who, when they saw this for the first time, went, oh, I'd love to try that on my Oculus or my PlayStation VR 2. It's not a VR game, so I don't think it's going to come to those platforms. And then finally,
they should definitely make a version for it.
Surely you need a monster PC to play the game looking this good, right? Well, in the FAQ, their response was that we see no issue in following an optimization process, and we cannot guarantee a perfectly optimized game, as it would be presumptuous given the challenges that ambitious studios face today, but we will meet the expectations of gamers and deliver accordingly. However, it is possible that older generations of PCs may not have sufficient performance to fully enjoy a next-gen game powered by Unreal Engine 5. So it might be time to upgrade your PC if you have the luxury of being able to do that. And that's about all for today, folks.
It's honestly not surprising, to be honest, given how the graphic fidelity of this game.
Do let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and drop a like to help support me. Thank you. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one, as it looks like it has the potential to offer a unique angle in the FPS market, and you know what? You just don't see that much anymore. Also, it's great to see so many indie studios building games that are making big splashes, and I'd put money on there being a body cam section in the next modern Call of Duty single player campaign. It's coming. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Hang on. 100%. Indie, I've thought this for years, since I've stumbled upon indie games. Indie game studios 100% put their heart and their effort into designing some of the most unique and best games on the market, in my opinion. Because it's not owned by like a huge corporation, right, where it just comes down to the money. It's also about the passion that goes into it, and that doesn't get diluted with major corporations like that. So definitely love seeing indie games like this. We're definitely going to keep an eye on this game as well, and continue to see the progress with this game, and I think it's just going to be fantastic. Hey guys, if you like the video, make sure you head over to the page, hit that like button, scroll over, smash that subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified for future video drops, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.